Hello, Air Nation, Airbender here, back with some more. bit.trip presents Runner2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien. I almost forgot it. I have not played this in a hot minute. And by a hot minute, I mean 2 days. Wait, was it 2 days? I don't remember. Command a video. Perfect start. That just shows how rusty I am. Yeah, I was having so much fun playing last time. And then I just smacked my face into a stop sign. Oh my god. I jumped. Alright. Now time to get serious. Oh, I put the shield up instead of kick. I'm an idiot. This is going spectacularly. Is this the curse that I just realized what's up there. Hold on, we're gonna go do that first since it's right there. Dun dun dun! Wow, my head just tapped it. But yes. Wait, is this my first? Is this really my first? Because I don't remember hearing this version of the retro level. Because each world has a different version of this retro level. The song in here is different. This has very like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street NES vibes to it. Woo! I couldn't. I pressed my luck too many times there. If you listen to the song, you can hear where the rhythm's gonna be. So, but I don't do by rhythm. I do it by visual. I'm also snorting a lot. It's fun. But yeah, the last few days, it's felt like I've been living in Seattle. It's like fucking rainy all the time here. There we go. God damn game, like calm your titties. Calm thine titties. All right, let's go back in here and actually do the level. The worst part is like I go out driving and I come home because it's raining too much and I just don't want to get like soaked and like, you know, I do as best I can while I'm out because, you know, I slid into those blocks hoping I would just kick them out of the way. But yeah, I've definitely contemplated getting a real job these past few days. That's for sure. I've actually applied to a couple of accounting jobs. Because I don't know if I've ever mentioned on YouTube. I know I've mentioned it on Twitch, but I actually have a master's degree in accounting. And how do I apply it? I deliver for DoorDash. But I don't know if I've ever told this story either. So we'll talk about like my journey to why I'm currently doing DoorDash. And it all has to do with, like, I think a couple episodes ago, I actually talked about my adventures at the IRS. So actually, I think I talked like all the setup too. Like I talked about how I had an accounting job at a I had an accounting job at a car dealership, and I loved working there. Like it was so like I loved it there. I loved the people I was working with. I loved. Oh, yes, those are everywhere in Runner2. Jesus Christ. But, yeah, I worked at a car dealership. I was accounts payable there. But I would do accounts receivable on occasion, and I would do other, like, miscellaneous, like, tasks that were necessary for the accounting department. So, but my main job was to do accounts payable. And if you don't know anything about accounting, it's pretty simple. Like payable, I basically paid the bills for the company. And receivables is basically I took in all the deposits for the day and made sure they got into the bank the proper way and accounted for in the wonderful accounting way. But I also mentioned that being low man on the totem pole, I lost that job due to COVID. I actually stayed home a couple times because I thought I was coming down with COVID, but alas, I was not. I was just being a hypochondriac little bitch, so, you know. But while I was home pretending to have COVID, and I mean, I don't mean pretending like in a like mean way. I mean like my body and my mind thought I had COVID, because that's unfortunately being a hypochondriac. That's what you deal with. You deal with the fact that you think you're dying on a daily basis. So it sucks. But anyway, they had to let me go, and they said that they would maybe call me back if things settle down, but obviously I'm not working there. So when I knew that I wasn't going to be working there, I filed for unemployment. I was actually on unemployment from March of 2020 to September of 21. And it was the longest period of time since probably in high school that I did not have a job. And it was so wonderful to have all that time off, but at the same time it was the worst thing. All right, we'll do this alternate exit first, if we can do it. Because in that time period, like, you know, I had mentioned that, you know, I went through a divorce, so I was separated from my wife at the time, and I started streaming. I started streaming in March of that year, like shortly after I left the car dealership and another job I was working at the time, which that's a whole nother set of shenanigans I won't get into. But yeah, needless to say, I was also working for my ex-father-in-law's company for at the time, and due to some shenanigans, I asked to be let go and be laid off so that I could collect unemployment from them too. Oh, damn it. God damn it. God fucking damn it. That was horrible. All right, needless to say, that was the end of the alternate level. We're not going to do the alternate level. I'm not going to finish it. You saw how it ends. It was pretty much right there if I hadn't fallen off the fucking platform like an idiot. But now we'll do all the gold bars. So yeah, I was collecting max unemployment in the state of Massachusetts, which is actually one of the most highest ones in the country. On top of the fact that they were paying me also the pandemic assistance. So at the time, the unemployment offices were giving everyone an extra certain amount of money per month or per week. So I was making the same amount of money at my 2 jobs on unemployment. So I basically went from having 2 jobs paying one amount to being on unemployment, basically paying the same amount. And yeah, I started my stream hoping that, like, you know, being on unemployment, being on having that time to maybe try to, like, you know, figure out my stream and be actually work on it, could try to, like, make it work. So if you do that, you would actually go to the key vault. So we'll go to the key vault first. And I got affiliate in May. The girl I was dating at the time was very supportive of the stream, but eventually, by the time the end of the year rolled around, she's like, "This isn't working, you need to quit it." I'm like, "Okay." Worst decision of my life. Like, I had put all that time into trying to make it work and doing all the things, and, like, I got affiliate, and, like, that could have been, like, so good for me, but, like an idiot, I took almost 2 years off, and I've been struggling to, like, see the same success that I was 3 years ago. Like, I barely get more than 2 people in my stream at a time. Like, I had 4 in my stream last night, but that's only because I got a raid from a random person who I looked at their stream after the fact, and they raided me because I was transgender, which great, because, you know, that's why I put those tags in my thing, because I want to support my community, and I also want to, you know, make friends on the platform. So but yeah, if I think about it all the time, it's like, what would have happened if I hadn't, you know, stopped streaming back in March? Where would I be? Like, could I have been something at this point? Like, I don't know. So nowadays I stream to no one, and I record these videos, and no one watches them. So very few people watch them. UFOMG. But yeah, I think about that all the time. But yeah, I left that job. Wow, that was horrible. I was on unemployment, and then in March of 21, I actually applied for the IRS, which I mentioned before. I applied for this specialized department, and then I got the job, but I had to wait 6 months because government jobs are the worst in that terms. Like, government jobs pay well, but there's a lot of red tape hiding behind there. Like, if you ever watched Futurama and you know Hermes, the bureaucrat, yeah, it's basically that. Like, in order to get things done, certain things have to happen, and, like, yeah. Also, I was left with a sour taste in my mouth because I had mentioned this on Jacob's stream the other night, but when I was hired at 1 level, but I had finished my master's in between hiring or applying for the job and actually getting the job. I actually finished my master's, which would have bumped me up to the next level. And I would have started making quite a bit of a difference in money. And when I asked them about it, they're like, "We can't do anything about it." I'm like, "I have the expertise for it. Like I have the education for it. Like, why?" And they're like, "Too bad." And I'm like, And then just a matter of like, I felt like the job wasn't for me. It wasn't accounting. Like I like the aspect of accounting that is bookkeeping. Like I like the data entry. I like the financial reporting. I like that aspect of it. That's why I like, you know, I didn't know that's what accounting was when I started my accounting degree, but like when I got more into it and understood it more, that's what I fell in love with. I fell in love with the aspect of, if a company makes this amount in revenue, like what is hiding behind it? What is like, what expenses is the company using to offset, like, or, you know, what accounting methods are they doing to offset like their taxes and all that? Like, did I need to get that fucking thing? I'm gonna go back and get it. I feel like I needed to get that. But just like all that stuff, how they account for it in the books to like maximize like the GAAP principles and minimize how much tax they have to pay. Like that's generally how it is. Like expenses that a company pays are going to help their bottom line. So it's like, you know, that's my job to figure out. And like, if I had gone further in the car dealership, I probably would have attempted to become a controller there and actually do like the financial reporting of the company. And I would have been in heaven because I love data entry. I love reporting. I love that kind of stuff. That's my bread and butter. But like when I was working at the IRS, I was, again, working in a specialized department that was dealing more with fraud. And basically I was being handed a company's records on certain aspects of their company, yes, and I was analyzing that data, but it wasn't like what I learned in school for accounting. Like I wasn't looking at their debits and credits. I wasn't looking at their financial reports. I was looking at random shit. They're random records for certain things, and it didn't feel like accounting to me. And I tried staying there for as long as I could, and like when I was given cases of my own to work, like I worked them, but it was just like, being COVID, it also didn't help. I don't know how I managed that and then fucked it up immediately. Calling these places and trying to get people on the phone to like talk and like figure out what I needed to do. Like I was training the entire time I was there, but it felt like I didn't learn anything. Like it was one of those weird things. It was like, and again, I don't know if that was a COVID thing or what, but like, needless to say, I didn't feel like I belonged there. And that's why I left. And like, when I left, I'm like, okay, I have the choice to make. Either I go find another accounting job or I take time off and, you know, figure out myself. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm just going to take time off from office jobs. Like, if I'm going to go back, I also don't want to be in an office. I want to be remote. I want to be working from home. I got so used to working from home with like the unemployment and the stream. And then I worked from home at the IRS for the first 9 months that I was there. Like, I would much rather have a remote job. So I have a very like skewed outlook on like the job I want. And I think COVID, I think both ruined that and helped it. I think it helped prove that like office life is bullshit. Like, why are we going and driving our cars to an office building every day when we could do the work from home? Like, and that's the logic that I have. Is like, I'd rather much be home and like being able to like pet my kitties every day if I wanted to, and like make lunch at home, and instead of having to worry about like making a cold cut sandwich. I can't believe I fucking missed that. I knew I was gonna miss something. But yeah, I want to be able to stay home, and if I want to cook like a can of like Chef Boyardee on my stove, like I can. Or if I want to like, you know, make something for lunch, like a frozen pizza, or like, you know, or even make something even healthy, like make a salad fresh, so I don't have to like have it wilting in my bag the entire day, you know? It's just like my vision of like work life skewed because of COVID, and I know it was not just me, and I know it was a lot of people who were like, why am I going to an office building all the time when I could be doing this at home and enjoying myself, you know? So if I ever go back, I want a remote job, so. But yeah, once I left the IRS, I ended up, I had already started doing like DoorDash on the side while I was at the IRS, just to make a little bit extra money. Because I was living here on my own, and I just, you know, I had one income, and I was like, you know what, I could use some supplemental income just, you know, for shits and giggles. And I had already started doing DoorDash, like, on occasion at night and on the weekends, so it's like, it was a easy transition. I want to get that cartridge for you. And you know, it's been fine. Like most days, like I do stress some days about going out, because like when I go out and I'm like, am I gonna make enough to survive today? Like, you know, I did it again. But you know, I do make do. I do end up making enough to survive, but it is difficult most days. And honestly, I'm at that point where like I've looked at my numbers and I'm like, you know, even if I did go back to a job at the start, like I'll still have to DoorDash. I'll have to DoorDash like significantly less amount of time, but I still will have to do it. But even like doing it a couple days less and only at night would be so much better than doing it full time. Because right now, like when I bought my car that I'm currently in, I had it came with 25,000 miles, I think. I'd have to go look. It has 80, it just passed 80,000 miles. And I've only had it a year. And that is definitely one of the major factors about like me trying to cut back on like doing it full time, because the mileage is just adding up so quickly. And again, if I worked remote, like I wouldn't have to commute. So part of my, boy, here we go. Here we go. But yeah, I wouldn't have to commute. And I wouldn't have to, like, I would probably go out like 3 or 4 nights a week. And then one weekend day. A weekend, stupid me. One weekend day, like a full day. And that still would be a lot less mileage and, you know, gas in my car. Which would save me on gas costs. It would save me on like car maintenance, because I'm basically, are you fucking serious? I'm basically getting an oil change a month, which it's supposed to be once every 3 months. I get one a month at this point, which not only is expensive, but Jesus Christ, that's telling me a lot. Like, you know. What the fuck? But yeah, I've looked at jobs, a lot of remote jobs, like, and they're all like remote in like the sense that they are like headquartered in Las Vegas or Los Angeles or Chicago or like something that isn't around here, and that would be interesting to me. You know, working for a company that isn't based in Massachusetts. There we go. Also, during that entire like section of levels, my chair sunk, which was hilarious because I was just sinking the entire time. And that's another expense I have to consider. Like, do I want to get another chair as I stand up? And the funny thing is I've already changed out the actuator on this, or whatever it is, whatever it's called, the thing that lifts you up and down on the chair. Like, I've already replaced it once. Which I don't know what that says about me or my chair. But anyway, we're gonna call it there. If you like the video and if you like the video, please consider leaving a like. Also consider leaving a subscribe to the channel. That helps out the channel as well, and you'll know when new videos are released. Finally, catch me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/AirBrandon56. I'm recording this on Tuesday the 4th. And just continued on Professor Layton, and I think we're gonna finish it on Thursday, but you'll be seeing this well in the future. So hopefully by the time this video comes out, we'll be starting the next game, which I think is Diabolical Box. So, and that's not Diabolical Jumping Box, that's just a Diabolical Box. So, but with that, I will bid you a wonderful night. Take care, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye!